Hey there, everyone. Change of scenery, as you can see. I'm in the car. I drive, unlike a lot of people that I know who do not drive. It's very interesting that I know so many people who don't drive, but that's the topic for never. So I just had my very last therapist visit at my psychologist's office. So it's the very last one. I've been going here for since the beginning of 2013. So, like, oh gosh, like almost 4 years. Wow, amazing. So, I would drive and talk to you, but I have no way to kind of mount this anywhere. So, we just have to wait. I have to wait till I get back to talk with you, because I'm gonna go home. Okay, so let's get this started. Yes. So, I'm gonna head out. See you guys. Bye-bye. See you very, very soon. Yes, I will. Hello. I am back, as you can see. It's actually much later in the day because I came home, I recorded this, and there was no audio when I went to edit it. And I'm just so upset because when you do a first take, sometimes that's like the best and you get everything out, and then you can't use it. So I'm doing it again here. Hopefully I cover everything I needed to cover. But it sucks. It sucks. So I was talking about my therapist. So today was the last day going to the therapist that I'd been going to since the beginning of 2013. I started seeing her because I was just having a lot of problems, and my grandmother was very concerned for me, and she suggested that I go so I could help resolve some of these problems. I did it in the beginning of 2013, shortly before I had my surgery, and I've been seeing her for like nearly four years now. It'll be, So I've been doing that for a while, and it's made such a huge difference over these 4 years. Because when I first went in there, I was like, back then I used to be so paranoid and have these delusions, and there was so much trauma that I had that I just repressed, and that was causing all this behavior. So I didn't trust her at first. Like, I just didn't like her. I didn't want to share anything with her. There was nothing that I could see of benefit. But I kept going. I kept at it because I know that could help, which it did. Because when I first went, when I started making videos, she pretty much, she said something that made me believe, she was stalking me and watching my videos when I first started making them, when there was no way that she would have found them. Because I did briefly mention that I might be making videos online, but I hadn't started yet. And then when I started, I just got really upset that she figured it out or something. But she never did. I mean, she wasn't watching them at the time, but I was convinced that she did. That was kind of the behavior that I had back then. I was very paranoid and delusional, and I was think that people were poisoning me, people were hurting me, in some way people were spying on me, and I couldn't stand it. It was just horrible, horrible, horrible. But in time, I did manage. She did manage to actually watch the videos, which is how she's been able to help me so much. Now she pretty much watches quite a few videos that I've put out, and she follows my work and is very proud of just the progress that I've made over the years, and can see that just in my videos and how I am when I'm talking with her there. But the main helpful thing was the video that I did, at the end of 2013. It was the first really long personal video that I did about my past, about my childhood and my teenage years, which were the worst years ever because of how much problems I had. And basically, I made that video and I put it online, which was very difficult by itself. But also, she managed to actually watch that video, because I couldn't go into her office and share with her what I had been through, because it was blocked out of my mind. It was like when I would go there, it would just all be repressed. Like I wasn't allowed to talk about it, you know, which is exactly how I was growing up. So I wasn't like, it wasn't there actively in my mind. It's like, oh, nothing happened to me. I was fine, you know. So how could you help someone who is not even showing that they have any kind of problem when they go in there? So that was a big problem for me. And you know, when I would be home, all those thoughts would be there. Like I would be able to think about them, and they were very troubling for me. And so that's why I made a video about my past, which essentially was going into detail about the abandonment and abuse and the neglect I got from my mother, which is still like that today, which is what is very concerning, because just seeing how she interacts with my oldest brother, especially, which is 12 years old, it's so disturbing to know that she hasn't changed at all, that she's only gotten worse since when I was a child. And knowing some of the things that she's done growing up, it kind of verified my own behavior, my own thinking growing up. And I was taken out of her environment when I was like 9. I was very early, like 9 or 10. So seeing my brother a few more years in her care just completely deteriorate him. Just the problems that he has now, that very similar to mine, that have grown in proportion. So I understand, you know, exactly how he feels and what's been going on that no one else seems to really care about. Because that's the thing, it's like no one seems to care. That's exactly how I felt. So that was the bulk of the video, just talking about this abusive person and what I've been through, and being transgender as well. You know, trying to cope with all these different things going on in my mind that was happening. I just hated myself so much. So, and then, you know, I'd resolved all the transgender related things before I went to see her. You know, it was just mainly like the trauma and abuse that was coming up. And so she watched that video that I did on the Autumn Master channel back in 2013 about my past, and that's how she's really been able to help me. As we talked about, there were so many details in there, and so many details that I didn't expand upon that were related to that it took multiple sessions for us to really cover it in depth and really get to the root of the problem. And the root of the problem was my mother, the abandonment, and the issues that I had growing up. So that was why I had these problems. And once you have that answer, then you can kind of turn your life around. You can kind of be able to better yourself. And that is what happened. Because with her, I've been able to share things that I've not been able to share with anyone else. She knows things about me that I've shared about my past that I haven't ever told anyone else. And that I don't really know if that it really is necessary now, but it was such a troubling thought in my head to constantly think about. And then just talking about it with her and just having that session where you're just like crying and crying, just kind of like a release of getting it all out, which is what was very, very nice. And you know, that there were times that I was in there that it got really bad to the point where it was like either dissociation before I went in there or while I was in there. Like when we got to like the really troubling things for me to talk about, you know, I would go in there and talk about something completely different, and when it's like, no, we're not going to talk about that because I don't know anything about that. You know, it was just completely like all the problems just were not there like it was early on. Or other times when I would go in there and then I would just like switch into like this very angry person that just was like, you know, I'm going to therapy because it's going to do more harm to me, and all this stuff, that it got to the point where she wanted to record it so I could see it. And I didn't want to see myself in that state because I know how disturbing that was. And then it's just so embarrassing when you you snap into that state, and then you come out of it, and then you don't really know what you said or did, and it just feels so awkward, and then you just feel so much embarrassment. And I remember that happening multiple times in the therapy session, and I would just get so upset and be crying, and just, it was very troubling for me during that time, just to kind of deal with all that was going on. There's a lot of self-hatred that I had that was contributing to this. But now, I don't really have those problems anymore because I've overcome them. Those things really don't bother me anymore because there's nothing in my mind that I'm repressing, that I really need to resolve on a subconscious level, that is causing this behavior. I don't have that type of dissociation anymore. I don't get the amount of mood swings that I used to get, like depression and mania, just nonstop, all over the place. I don't get that anymore. I don't have the anxiety that I used to have. I don't have any of those things because I've managed to overcome it and deal with the problems that was causing that behavior, which is all of these repressed things in my mind. And feeling insecure with myself. Once I built up all that confidence, I was able to really overcome a lot of this. So, now, as I said, I may have some of those problems to a small degree, but it's nothing like it was. So that's just amazing to really think about, just how much progress I have made over the years. And the therapist has definitely seen it. Like, just over the past year, I've pretty much just been going just to kind of talk about my daily events that were going on in my life, like the daily stress of family situations, the daily stress of health-related problems that I had a few months back of this year, and stuff like that. It wasn't anything that was really in depth about my past. It was more current stuff that I had been dealing with, and I think I'm at the point now that I can deal with it by myself. And that's kind of why I'm kind of letting that go now, because it was wonderful to be able to overcome all those things. It really was. And if the therapist by any chance were to be watching this, then thank you very much for everything that you've done, because it's made such a big difference on me. It really has. And I want to thank all of you out there too, because all of you have been able to show me so much love and acceptance, and allowed me to be myself and express myself, and been there for me when I've done and said all these things that I thought at the time were just crazy. Just putting it online, and just it just seemed so crazy to me. I thought I was just totally nuts. And to know that there were so many other people who have dealt with the same situations. It was very, it's never good to hear that you can relate to a bad situation, but it's comforting in a way to know that there's other people who also get where you're coming from. So, yeah, that's pretty much that. I think, it is kind of the best time. I think what really kind of pushed this to being the last time seeing her is also my health insurance, because it's been covering everything up to this point, but I have to change it, and I'm going to have to start paying, and I cannot afford health insurance premium each month, and then paying for therapist visits every other week. So I can't really keep up with that. But I think it's time to, as I said, I think it's time to kind of go on my own now. So it's been so helpful over the years. It really has. So Other than that, besides recording this video again, I wanted to show you kind of what I was wearing here. I'm sure you can see it's kind of fancy. I wouldn't want to do like an outfit of the day sort of thing, because it's like, it's kind of boring. Like, I'd rather just talk about something and just kind of show you my cool outfits if I wear something cool on that day. Yes, yes. So, yeah, October is coming around, Halloween time. Oh, yes. I have more like Halloween themed, heavier clothing than I do lighter clothing. So, yeah, I got the spiderweb dress here. I'm gonna stand up so I can show you. Got these nice little thing here. Got my nice black hair. Oh, it's so black. Yes. So let me stand up. I have these striped. Let me actually, hang on. Gotta turn this off so you can see it brighter. Okay. Got this bright. I don't know if you can really see. Let me see if I can position it in a way that you'll be able to see. I don't know if you can. I really don't. Hello. Maybe you can see if I get on from the chair. Can you see these? Can you see? So, yeah, I don't know what you can see and what you can't see, but I can assure you it's very nice. So, let's see. Yeah, there you go. And there's my leg peeking out. Hopefully you don't see anything else. Or if you do, you would have to be, if you want to see anything else, you would have to be very, very close to me. But most of you aren't, so. But even though I haven't necessarily talked with all of you, I appreciate all the love and support you've given me. So I'm gonna give you so much love and positivity in return. So you all have a nice, wonderful day, weekend, whatever you watch and do and stuff like that, you know? Can't make a heart. There we go. So, I will talk to y'all later. Okay? So, you all have a wonderful time. And I'll see you all later. Oh my gosh, this is so much longer than the first take I did of this. First take I did of this was 8 minutes. This is 17 minutes, so. Alright, so I'm going to end it now. You all have a wonderful day yet again. Bye!